guys are so funny. You're trying to get me to do this stupid shit. And
she just whispered, "I'm a bad bitch," for anyone who didn't hear. Stop. 420.
I'm lit at Disney.
And the kids asleep in the bath.
There we go.
A ball sack station.
That's what a business owner looks like. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Tattoo Homewreckers. This is a podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything in between. I just realized I'm talking very quietly.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on there.
I don't know. Something weird. Hello.
Okay.
Welcome to our podcast.
I can help you out. Welcome to Tattoo Homewreckers, a podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything in between. My name is Lou. This is my best friend, Cal. I don't know if that's the name she wants to go by, or Callista, or Callie.
Cal is great.
I still call her Callie, or Callista. I don't call her Cal as much.
Yeah.
But we are just gonna try to do a slightly, just kind of dissociation episode. Yeah. We're both still struggling.
Yes, very much so. I'm so happy you brought that up.
Yeah. So, I was supposed to go to breakfast with you and our friend Chloe this morning and just couldn't see another human being.
Totally.
Oh my God, I just put this hoodie on. Now I'm dying.
Yeah, this is what this looks like, you guys.
Yeah, so I'm sure you guys are probably tired of hearing about it, in the throes of dealing with perimenopause. I've started on hormone replacement therapy. It isn't doing shit yet. The first week I was like, ooh, this seems to be helping. Yeah. And right now it's not. So I'm just hot flash, not hot flash, which is weirdly worse the colder it gets, because then I'm freezing.
Yeah.
And then I'm dying.
You're constantly doing those baths, like an ice bath, and then getting into, I don't know, a sauna or whatever. Yeah. You're not supposed to do that, right? You can get seizures if you do that to a pool and a hot tub. I don't know if that's actually real. I know lots of people that do it, so I don't know about the seizure part. Okay, cool. Well,
I'm not a medical doctor, Callista.
If you're in the medical field, please let me know if that's real or if that's just a myth or whatever. But yeah, it's been a struggle. Yeah. Not only are you dealing with that, but you're also dealing with the echoes of the election, which we've already made an episode about.
So rough. I'm sure we'll talk more about it later. We'll probably randomly talk about it now. But I decided to just try to fucking have a semi-good day. And we just finished, so I don't know her score on it or anything, but we literally just finished watching Practical Magic. Her for the first time, me for the first time in a while, like 10 years or so. Yeah,
so I had no idea what the fuck Practical Magic was going to be about.
Can you say what you thought it was about? Because we have a couple movies to actually talk about that you think are other movies.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely.
One of my favorite things.
Practical Magic, when you told me about, we saw, I literally saw maybe 2 minutes of it, and then you turned it off at the shop, and you're like, no, because we actually need to watch it. I'm like, that makes sense, for sure. When I had seen, the only scene that I had seen is the scene where she's got, how many times can I say scene in one sentence? A bowl full of petals and flowers and whatnot, and it flies out into the ether. I thought it was going to be like a coming of age, a young witch is rejecting her powers, and at the end of the day, she realizes that she needs to follow through true acceptance and just lean into it.
Wow.
I thought it was just going to be one of those, And
it kind of is.
Okay, so that's the thing, right? It is, but there's so much going on that you are just constantly what the fuck is happening? Crazy shit. The
90s was good for that, though.
Yeah,
I have a couple more movies to throw on your list. Okay. Because you really like Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman of that time frame.
Let's talk about that. Oh my God.
Oh, I should probably, so in case anyone doesn't know, Practical Magic, late 90s, I think it's 98. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, and then a couple men that aren't really huge actors anymore. But we're kind of heartthrobby at that point. Yeah. And it is about, I don't know, go look it up yourself, because I don't want to spoil it. So if you don't want to fucking hear spoilers, don't listen. If you don't care because it's a over 25-year-old movie, that makes me feel very old.
Dude, it's literally, it came out with the year I was born.
This is why I think it's funny that Talia and all the kids are wearing clothes that I wore as a
child. Oh my God. I'm seeing a lot of clothes in that movie that are like literally on the racks right now. And like my niece owns, like, I'm pretty sure Talia has a skirt like that. Or like she definitely has a shirt like that. I've seen that before.
It's great.
Yeah. It's coming full circle.
Okay. So do you want to tell them what it's about?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to hear your side before I'm like, this is what the plot is. Cause I like when you describe movies.
100%.
When you had no idea what it was about.
So clearly, just so you guys know, there's going to be spoilers ahead. I mean, it's a 26-year-old movie. Get the fuck over it. It's not like whatever. But anyways, if you want to watch Practical Magic, pause this, go watch it, and then start listening to it again. Practical Magic, it starts out with these girls. Well, okay, really it starts out with the head witch. She almost gets hung, doesn't get hung. Great. She's a witch.
Also, absolutely stunning.
Yes.
It's really interesting because I always thought that she was gorgeous. I don't know the actress's name, but that specific actress, I was like, she is absolutely stunning.
Yep.
And then I was like, she has such like classical features. And then you pointed out.
Yeah, I pointed out, I was like, dude, this lady looks like every single neo-traditional lady tattoo. So any of our tattoo artists out there, look at this lady in the first opening scenes of Practical Magic and tell me you haven't drawn her before or have seen her on your Instagram feed. This is the like perfect neo-traditional lady. She's got the long wavy hair. She's got these perfect round eyes, like these really pronounced nostrils and full lips.
Yeah, and like
the jawline. Yes. So we've drawn her many a time. I felt like I was seeing an old friend. I'm like, oh my God, who the fuck? So she doesn't get hung because she's a witch. And then they talk about how like, yes, witches are, they're alive. And essentially there's this curse placed upon this family because that witch that almost died, got pregnant, was waiting for her man to come back. Spoiler alert, her man's does not come back. She's really upset about it. So she originally put a spell on herself to say that she doesn't want to fall in love anymore because she doesn't want to go through that heartbreak again, turns into a curse. And every man that falls in love with a woman in that family, a witch in that family, will meet his untimely death and despair. They always die early. And the sound of the beetle is how you know your husband's going to die, right? So the two main characters, that's Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, their mom goes through heartbreak. I'm pretty sure she commits suicide, but they never say that.
She dies of a broken heart.
She died of a broken heart. I'm pretty confident that means she committed suicide, right?
No, she died of a broken heart. She didn't get out of bed. So people can die of broken hearts. They don't have to like actually kill themselves.
Okay.
They can just die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruined your heartstrings. So her husband obviously dies. Then she dies. Then Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman go to their witchy auntie's house.
Yes.
Where they're raised by their two witch aunties.
Who get to have chocolate for breakfast.
Yes. And that's a big theme in the thing is that you get chocolate for breakfast and you don't have to do homework. Amazing. Fast forward, Nicole Kidman runs off to go live her life in Florida or whatever.
Yep, Orlando.
Yeah. And hooks up with a ton of people. She's just a free spirit. And Sandra Bullock, when she was a little girl, said that she never wanted to fall in love. So she's the opposite. She stays in the same hometown. Sorry, the petals. She creates this man. It's like build a bear for your man when she's a child. We're going to rewind a little bit because I got a little bit too ahead. Build a bear for your man in a spell form. So she's saying that she wants this guy to have like two different colored eyes. One
blue, one green.
Yes, exactly. And that he can ride a horse backwards.
Yep.
Very specific. And that his favorite shape is a star.
And that he can flip pancakes really high
in the air. Yeah, and he can hear like her call him from a mile away, which I mean I feel like we all wish that we could do. But so her sister's like, I thought you said you didn't want to fall in love, and she's like, that's the point. I'm creating a man that doesn't exist. Build a bear for your man.
Yep.
Can you see where this is going, you guys?
You say that.
But you don't.
But this is Goofy's Sky School
of movies.
That every time you thought we were zigging, we zagged.
You zagged
You
my
were
zig.
like, this is going to happen. And then it didn't.
No, literally. So you think that's okay. So she's going to meet him, whatever. She meets this random dude from her hometown. And then fast forward 3 years and they have 2 kids together. Oh my God. And he's got brown eyes. She doesn't believe in magic anymore. She's like, no, we're just going to shun that because fuck the curse. I'm not going to do it. Then she's like hearing this beetle, right? And she's like like tearing up the floorboards of her house trying to find it and kill it. And her man is at work and he is lugging around like a bunch of crates and he's walking around in the street. And as the Beatles going off, this group of bicycle cyclists come through and almost hit him. It's like a stampede, right? But he just stays still and they don't hit him. So you're thinking, okay, great. Like, weird. He's probably going to die of something soon. It's a car. A car kills him. So we all think that he's going to be saved. Nope. A car kills him and all the crates that he was holding.
R.I.P. to the apple crates.
R.I.P. to the apple crates. So that means Sandra Bullock is just heartbroken and now she's got 2 kids to take care of and they're also little girls. So she goes back to her witchy auntie's house with her children and tells them, like, no chocolate for breakfast. You guys are going to do your homework. You're going to be responsible children. And tells her witchy aunties, do not fill their heads with nonsense. Like, my children will never learn how to, cast spells. Sandra Bullock is also, like, the most, like, naturally talented witch, apparently. She just chooses not to use her powers. And the whole town is incredibly racist towards witches. It's really bad. Because they just chant, little children chant, she's a witch. Wait, what did they say? Something like, she's a witch and a bitch or whatever. Yep. Something crazy. And
witch, she's a witch.
Witch, she's a witch. Yeah, crazy. Yep. Right? So, anyways, she's going through mourning. Her sister starts dating this really sleazy guy who's definitely a fucking vampire. He's from, like, Bulgaria, and she says that he's got like a Dracula like energy about him, Dracula cowboy energy, and she has to drug him and his alcohol. He drinks a specific kind of tequila. She drugs him every night so that way he can go to bed, so he can stop talking to her about their love for centuries. So she drugs him. Her sister's like, don't you think that's a little weird? She's like, yeah, he's intense, but it's fine. Like, he'll live through the curse. And then he ends up hitting her. And Sandra Bullock goes to save her sister. They both kind of get kidnapped by Dracula. They use their witchcraft to get out of that. And then they end up killing him. So now Homeboy's dead. Like, where the fuck is this movie going? It was just so much all at once. So we got the kids to a safe house. Now we're saving sister. Now we've got a dead body on our hands. So they're like, what the fuck do we do with the dead body? And they decide to use black magic to bring him back because there's a spell book at their auntie's house. So they bring the corpse back, they use black magic, and then he wakes up from the dead and then keeps trying to kill them, in which Sandra Bullock kills him again. Part 2 of Sandra Bullock killing someone. And then they bury him in the yard. Yep. Crazy. Now, obviously, it's not going to go well because now they have a dead body in their yard. There's a personal investigator that shows up that, guess what, has one green and one blue eye. And he's looking for that dude. He's like, where the fuck is he? He's a criminal. And they can't say anything. And Nicole Kidman is making his potion to get him to leave them the fuck alone. But the little girls find their mom, Sandra Bullock's, like, journal about the man, right? And they're like, oh, my God, what the heck? Like, what do we do? And she's like mixing this like potion to tell him to get the fuck out of their lives into the syrup because they're going to have him over for breakfast. And that's when they find out that he can flip a pancake high in the air. And the little girls are like, oh no, we got to make sure that he doesn't eat the syrup. So they toss the fucking canister of syrup, like the porcelain container of syrup out that matches the rest of the silverware.
That's the part I was the most angry about was the amount of dishes that were damaged during this film.
Oh, so many. There's so much glass breaking too. There's a lot of at one point Nicole Kidman just randomly drops a bowl of fruit
and then just walks right over it, like over the broken stuff. And I'm like, I'm concerned for her actress feet, not even the character's feet.
Totally. And we also find out that Nicole Kidman has always been putting on lotion in the middle of movie scenes. Yeah.
I thought last time I mentioned, I was like, oh, is it, no, she just likes lotion.
Is it hormone therapy?
You know what? I think she's just telling everyone, because everyone talks about how great her skin is. She's like, look, you guys, if you subliminal messaging, I'm going to tell everyone forever.
Just keep
if you want to look like me, every movie I'm ever in, I'm putting on lotion.
Keep putting on lotion, period.
Come to think of it, I can't think of a single movie
that she's not putting lotion on?
Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut, she puts lotion on.
In that show, she's putting lotion on. Yeah. In both of the shows that I saw, she was putting lotion on. Fucking, you know what show I'm talking about?
Yeah. 9 Perfect Strangers?
9. I always think it's 7 Perfect Strangers.
Okay.
I said 9 strangers.
At least you got, like, only the number wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, personal investigators looking. Obviously, she's going to fall in love with him. And then she ends up feeling so guilty that she tries to tell him everything. Turns out Dracula dude is possessing her sister, and it was really gross. There's a scene where when he was alive, he was telling them, I'm really in the mood for sisters right now.
Yep.
Disgusting. So she like comes home, hugs her sister, and then her sister licks the side of her face and goes, I'm really in the mood for sisters. Yeehaw. Which is something that he would say. He actually has said yeehaw throughout the movie, so that's how you know that he's possessing her. Then there's an exorcist scene. What the fuck is going on with this movie? There's so much. And
then there's a phone tree.
Oh, yes. And there's also a scene where, like, again, Sandra Bullock is being disregarded from the whole community because they all know she's a witch. And so Nicole Kidman uses her witch powers to basically make Sandra Bullock the head of the school moms. And a phone tree, when you're at the head of the phone tree, you call the rest in the tree, kind of. It's like
you call one person and they call the next.
Yeah,
so,
there you go. And it just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
So she recruits the moms for an exorcist spell because they need, 12 witches?
Yeah, they need all female energy.
Yeah, all female energy, which is great.
It's a girl power movie.
It is a girl power movie. I mean, despite the twists and the turns and the zigs and the zags and the dead bodies and killing
and
the same
casual
man twice.
domestic violence.
Yeah, which by the way, also, in the middle of the movie, I'm like, do you like how they just like skirted past the fact that she got hit? It was a very small point in the movie where she's just like, yeah, he hit me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're just skirting past
that was
the
appropriate
norm?
for the time.
Yeah, like it was just like normal. We're like, oh yeah, he just hit me and now I'm leaving. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Anyways, it was very casual. So they get all of the ladies and they all do this witchy spell. They end up exorcising him out of her body. Very cool.
We skipped a really important part.
Which part did we skip?
Margaritas.
Oh, fuck. I totally forgot.
Midnight margaritas.
Midnight margaritas. So not only do witches have chocolate for breakfast, they also have midnight margaritas. The lime and the coconut. That's where that came from. And yeah, so they end up exorcising the spirit. Sandra Bullock ends up falling in love with him. And he says that curses only give it, are only real if you give them power. Yeah, that's the cop, the personal investigator. So he doesn't believe in the curse. He doesn't think he'll die, which I don't know because they don't really end
all the women, they tell you at the end, all the women's holding hands together breaks the curse.
Yes.
And then the town accepts them for as being witches.
Yeah.
And thinks it's super cool because there was a really cute, she's, coming out of the closet joke put in there. Yeah, there was a very good coming out of the closet joke. I think my favorite quote of the movie, though, was, it's not a strength to be normal. Yes.
It, what did she say? It rather depicts a lack of courage.
Yes.
When you're trying to chase normalcy. Yes. Yep. That's essentially what it is. I really like that quote. It was very good. There was some subtle undertones of lesbian power that I got from that, but mostly female empowerment. It was very good. It was definitely the movie I needed to watch today.
Yep. Okay.
And you were excited because it was fall. So.
Yeah, and it's a fall classic and you haven't seen it. And also it's just a proper, when you just need girl power.
Yes.
But with just a tiny touch of romance in there.
What's the one that we watched with the young teenage witches and they end up fighting?
Are you talking about The Craft?
The Craft. So it's not like The Craft. I'm sorry. The Craft is
guys,
so good.
I can't tell you how these are movies that are truly fundamental to my personality.
Well, it's so funny because
and you're like,
every
what's
time we watch these movies, you're like, I used to wear that. I own that. Yeah. I own that. Yeah. The Craft. So it's not like The Craft. It's, I would say, a softer version of The Craft for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. How do you like it?
I loved it. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10.
All right. How do you feel about Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 26?
That was some bullshit. What is everyone on Rotten Tomatoes? And you've explained it to me. It's because it's a chick flick and it's not entertaining because it's written for women and it's written the way women think. We see too much media. We saw a movie the other day where, it was The Happening. We saw The Happening the other day where Zooey Deschanel tells her boyfriend, who is it, Mark Wahlberg? right?
Oh, no, she runs in. Yeah, it is Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, that is her boyfriend.
Zoe tells Mark, like, why would you tell your friend about our arguments? That should stay between us. And please let me know if this is, like, the opposite experience for you guys. But I have never once ever heard any, like, female presenting person tell that to their boyfriends.
Yeah.
It's always the other way around.
Yeah. And there was so many like times in which they were speaking where I was like, this was written by a man.
Yeah, like the dialogue is not
like perspective of like women's like experiences. Whereas like you could see like in this where there were those truly like funny moments, like when Sandra Bullock like acts like an idiot in front of the cop. Yes. And then Nicole Kidman turns to her and just mouths like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then she just mouths back like, I don't know.
Yes.
And then they had, now obviously it's exaggerated in the film, like they have a conversation just like via their eyes. And so that's like exaggerated to be like, oh, this is like their witch powers. But it's
that's
like,
actually a thing.
Yeah. Like these are ways in which people that were raised as women understand those social norms.
Yeah.
And so when you can see characters that you're like, oh no, this was like written with like women, like even if it's a male writer that did it, there was a lot of like female influence in that.
Yes.
Because even like them waking up and doing like the lime and the coconut, like that whole scene is not for the male gaze.
No, not
like
at all.
Like in the entire movie, like there's not any points where it's like for the male gaze. I would say that it's for the male gaze in the sense that, the women are attractive, the same as Megan's Body. Like when we watch that, that's what it's called, right?
Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body. There you go. Now I'm doing it.
It is Megan Fox.
Yeah, Megan Fox. But yeah, Jennifer's Body was the writing was female, and it's so interesting because like people were like, well, I didn't do what as good as it should have, blah blah blah. But it's like, yeah, because they expected this because she was hot and because she was like an iconic sex symbol. People are like, oh no, I'm expecting it to be for the male gaze. And when we watched it and you were like, oh, I'm nervous to show it to you, and I was like, this is fucking amazing because it is a female like point of view on storytelling.
Yeah, and it's very like it's very
so much fun.
It's very aware. And so, again, female empowerment and written for women. And that's 100% why it's got 26% or 27, whatever, on Rotten Tomatoes. So stupid. Because, like, at no point was I like, okay, did you really have to show us her boobs? Like, was that really necessary?
Yeah.
No.
You're like, I don't need to see this.
No,
like,
it was completely written in the scope of, like, yeah, this is what it feels like to be a woman, to be ostracized from other women. And then this is what it feels like when we all join hands and, like, build a community strong enough to take care of each other. I loved it. I thought it was a
yay. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
I don't think I missed anything of the plot. So you guys have basically watched not Jennifer's Body, Practical Magic.
Megan's Body?
Through me, Megan's Body, through me explaining it.
Okay. And then we're going to keep on this theme real fast of movies because we did just watch The Happening.
Yes.
So Kelly's getting a lot of, I hate to say this, older movies. In her, like in this week. And The Happening is one of Caboose's favorite films. Yeah. I won't give you a synopsis for it. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it.
It's so good, you guys.
I just want Kelly to tell you guys what she thought was The Happening.
I'll paint this picture for you. So we're at the shop. I'm tattooing my good client / friend Belma, and it's Lou and Caboose there chatting with me, and they were like, I don't know how, but The Happening came about.
It comes up with Caboose all the time because he fucking loves that movie.
Just cannot stop with The Happening.
No.
And so it came up, and you were like, wait, have you not seen The Happening? I was like, I think I have. Like, maybe it was a long time ago. I was like, oh wait, no. I was like, I've always wanted to, and I've always wanted to read the book. It's about this, right? Like, this is the synopsis. And so this is what I thought The Happening was. It's about an adult with, like, I guess, like a kid or something. And there's something, like, it's apocalyptic. And they have to, like, go down this road. And to which Lou said, no, that's the road.
Yep.
I was
with
like.
Viggo Mortensen.
I said, wait, what?
Yep.
I was like, this entire time I thought that The Happening was the road. 100%. No. Completely thought The Happening was the road.
It is not.
That is so fucking funny.
This is Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel.
So, I haven't seen The Happening and the
John,
road.
John, whatever his
name is.
Can't say his last name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do yourself a favor. If you haven't seen The Happening, go see it and then tell us how many stars you would give it. And then, yeah. I just wanted you to know that, like, that's what I live with. I can't remember people's names at all. Mm-hmm. And she very often switches movies, and it is really comical because I can remember movies.
Yes.
Just not names.
Just not names. And that's okay. Sometimes you're the name friend and sometimes you're the movie friend.
Yep.
It is like that. Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing that we're going to kind of do is because, like, now that we've watched Practical Magic and we're feeling kind of spooky ooky, I have some autumn inspired questions, some fall questions for you. Yes, bitch.
So funny.
You need a fall question.
Obviously.
It's the reason we're also doing this today is because we are in the 1 week of fall that Reno gets.
Yes.
And I get everyone talks about there being all 4 seasons here, but spring when it's like green and pretty seriously is like a week and a half. Fall, same thing. Like it's a very quick transition from summer to winter.
It's crazy because it's like, oh shit, now this tree just doesn't have leaves. Like it in an instant.
Yeah, overnight.
What the fuck, dude?
It just came up on my picture because I go around the neighborhood and take pictures of these naked trees with all of their leaves on the ground.
Naked trees.
Because I'm like, why? Like, it is seriously overnight, the tree will just go dump all the trees.
Yeah,
like all the leaves, just done.
100%.
Okay, so for autumn, these are autumn-inspired things.
I'm excited.
What are your top 3 priorities for this season? So fall is going to last about a week. So, what you got for me? I should have proofread these.
My top priorities for this fall season: A, get my hands on a pie. I know that I'm tracking macros and I'm trying to be good, but I would really enjoy making a pie and or having one. I'm more so having one.
What kind of pie?
I don't know. What's like a fall pie? I don't like pumpkin pie. I'm sorry. The only fall pie. Wait.
There are plenty more pies. It's okay. You'll get to have fall over again when we get to New Zealand.
Yes.
And we can go to an actual pie shop and get a pie.
Double fall.
Yeah. Otherwise here you're going to have to, I mean, I guess you could buy like one of the ones at grocery store, but that's not really the same.
No.
I mean, you could go with like an apple pie.
I like an apple pie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would love an apple pie.
Did you have the pumpkin butter this morning?
No.
Oh.
Oh, because
oh yeah.
Two Chicks has like butter.
I ate it yesterday and almost died.
What?
No, it is
because
so much ginger. Yeah. Caboose and I were at breakfast. If you don't know, I am very allergic to ginger. Every year I hope it gets better.
And it doesn't.
It
just gets worse.
So once we get established in New Zealand, I realized that I should probably get an EpiPen.
It's getting to that
point? Caboose did say that pumpkin butter had more ginger than anything else. It had more ginger than it needed.
Less pumpkin.
Yeah. Because I was like, pumpkin butter, like for my toast.
Yeah.
And put it on, and as I took a bite, I then inhaled and instantly was like, oh no. And then I didn't know what to do with the food in my mouth because I only have fucking cloth napkin. So I'm like, I can't spit this out. I don't know what to do. And so then I was like, okay, well, I have to just eat it.
Oh, no.
And he's like, don't eat it. The thing is that the eating part of it is not the problem. It's the inhaling because it closes my fucking airways. So then I was just like, there, like.
You're like inhaling it then if it's like in your throat.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's horrible.
So I wanted to get your opinion if you thought it was too much ginger, but you didn't eat it either.
No, but that's funny. So I did go to breakfast with Chloe, and somehow this came up. But I told Chloe that Chloe said something that like she can't cook with a certain ingredient anymore, and I was like, yeah, I've developed like a ginger sensitivity now because I just randomly don't ever since living with you. I don't really cook with ginger. And even when I did, it would be very tiny amounts of ginger. But now I've like subconsciously completely removed ginger from my diet, unless it's like in a cookie or something, you know?
You eat all the gingerbread cookies.
Yes, I will for you.
Every one of them.
Absolutely.
You can, I was looking at a bake shop.
Yeah.
Down there in Hamilton. And they have the cream donuts.
Oh, shit.
They have like proper English bake shops. And they have a gingerbread cookie and they put sprinkles on like for shoes.
Oh, dude, you already know.
And I was looking at
that looked like you were saying a dick. He's got like a ginger dick too.
He's got buttons. Okay. But I looked at the picture on this bake shop and I was like, that is the gingerbread cookie of my childhood. And I was like, I'm going to be such a fucking weirdo just buying people a cookie. Will you eat this cookie?
You're like a cookie cuck.
Can you eat this cookie?
Cookie cuck.
Tell me how great it is.
Delicious.
And I'm going to just go up to people like, would you like a gingerbread cookie?
Well, yeah, now I
can't eat it.
I can eat it ginger in like baked goods. That's fine. So like a pumpkin spice is fine. I don't know, a gingerbread cookie is fine. But like if there's like ginger in a sauce, that's like all I can taste now.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh my God, why? And it might just be bad luck, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I think I genuinely am like, yeah, now I just like can't do ginger. Oh, anyways, what I want to do for this season.
Yes.
A, acquire a pie. B, I would really, really like to focus on still being politically active because I feel like I have not. I know I haven't been doing my civic duty. Enough of this election really helped me like realize like there's more to do, you know?
Yes.
And my third one would probably be, I just downloaded a self-care app. Also shout out to Chloe for telling me about this self-care app. Just really fixating on self-care as the days get shorter and the nights get longer and things get colder because I get sad. So if I remain with self-care, I feel like I'll be better.
Yeah. What's the app?
It's called Finch. So basically, you are gifted a bird, and you name the bird. My bird's name is Shamrock.
Okay, so it's a Tamagotchi.
Basically, but then it's like you have to tally off your self-care habits in order to grow your bird and make sure that your bird survives. I don't know if their bird dies if you don't take care of it.
Yeah, what if you're like slightly depressed that day and then you just killed your bird?
I have yet to know, but I'll figure it out. Hopefully Shamrock doesn't die within the first week. But yeah, my bird's name is Shamrock, so I feel like that would really help.
Okay.
Do you have any like things that you'd like to prioritize?
No, I was too busy looking because I was like, these are really deep questions.
Are they really?
And I just was like, no, I don't want that.
I thought it was going to be like,
I did
do you
too.
like latte, like chai lattes or pumpkin spice
found
lattes?
One of those. So I just found a nice one. It has pictures of leaves on it.
Right.
That's why I was over here very
just
like
searching.
Intently like, no, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week it's just a survive, dude. Mm-hmm. I gotta fly up to Seattle 6:00 in the morning on Wednesday to get a physical.
Yeah.
And I've never had a physical besides when we first moved to America, and there was an incident with a doctor. So I'm really wary around doctors.
Yeah.
I've actually had a couple instances with doctors. But that one, yeah. So I'm going to go do that.
Yep.
And I get a chest x-ray, but the lady on the phone was super nice and I'm hoping that it's like female doctors. Yeah. So this week it's just,
survive.
Yeah. Survive.
Well, we're also like, as much as we say we're like slowing down, we're actually in our busiest tattoo season. I saw 15 people this last week.
You're an idiot.
Isn't that crazy? No, for real.
Yeah.
You also saw hella people this week too, though.
I'm kind of just living right now.
Yeah. I'm putting my head down and just doing work.
Not thinking about anything except for like the present. I mean, obviously I'm still like staying involved politically with everything going on. But I'm very much just like day by day. Like I'm doing stuff to try to set myself up for the week.
Yeah.
So that's why like I went to the shop this morning and had like the shop cleaned and had stock done and like all that stuff done by 7:30. So that way I could like,
nice.
I stocked my booth, refilled all my water bottles, like got everything done to be like, okay, make sure that like you're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's basically it. But otherwise it's just like pretty much just chilling. If I want to watch a movie, I'll watch a movie.
I love that.
I took a nap today because hormones are nuts, you guys. I do not recommend menopause at all. Like not one bit. But on that, we're pivoting because I don't want to be fucking serious. So would you rather the fall edition, you guys?
Oh, okay.
Fall edition of Would You Rather.
I like that.
Drink hot cocoa or drink apple cider? Are you a hot cocoa bitch or an apple cider?
I think I'm an apple cider girl. I don't really have apple cider very often, but like I also just like hot cocoa's too sweet and it coats my throat in a weird way.
I don't like it for that because then if I drink it, I feel like I have to clear my throat. And if Caboose drinks it, he does just sit over there, just
right,
like just choking on invisible dicks the whole time.
Yeah, it's too rich. Like the chocolate's too rich.
Now I will say I do miss Mexican hot chocolate because it doesn't do that.
Oh, it's also it has cinnamon in it, right? There's like actual spices in it, so it's like. I put this in air quotes, spicy hot chocolate. Yeah. It's in air quotes because it's not actually spicy, but you know what I mean. Yeah. It's very good.
And Mexican
it doesn't, hot chocolate's good. Yeah.
It doesn't coat your throat.
Good. Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you. Apple cider. I haven't had apple cider since we've come out here, but I also just don't think there's orchards, so you can't really have apple cider here.
So apparently Apple Hill is some place that Reno goes to a lot. I've never been, but it's in California, so it doesn't count. Again, it doesn't count.
You're gonna be in a car for at least 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour drive, and you drive around to the apple orchards, and they have ciders, but again, that's like 2 hours, dude.
Also, here's my thing. I don't want to drive. It's the issue that I have with like the vineyards. Is that a lot of times you can get apple cider and it's boozy. And I don't want one person to have to be a fucking DD
the entire time
and not get to taste the wine.
You have to drive to the different farms.
Yeah, that to me I'm not down with. Yeah. Like it's annoying.
Yeah, totally.
Like we would have apple cider. Like I think my favorite time that we had it, we were up in Old Quebec, and it was like, I don't know, something genuinely out of a fucking movie because it was like flurrying. And then Caboose had warm Jägermeister because that's apparently a drink there.
Is it good?
And it was horrible.
Oh, no.
It's so bad.
You like how
it was so great.
I'm like, because it sounds like it could be good.
Terrible.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, we got to just have apple cider and like walk around, and they had like a whole Christmas village thing.
Oh, literally something out of a movie.
Yeah.
That's
so
cute.
like and then there was the Biltmore Estate, and you could get like apple cider, like because they had an orchard there, and you could get like a pack of like apple cider. Like spices that you added in at home.
And it would be actual.
Yeah. So I either think of it like in front of our fireplace at home or like in those kind of settings of like
just makes it easier to breathe too. Again, hot chocolate makes it not like hot chocolate's fun when you're a kid, but like as an adult, I just can't do it. I can't justify it.
It's too annoying.
Yeah.
Okay. Puzzle or a scenic walk.
Oh, a scenic walk.
Nice.
What about you?
Dude, that's hard for me because I do like a scenic walk.
You like both quite a bit.
I love a puzzle. I didn't realize that as we cleared out all the shit, I literally kept one of those fucking dope-ass puzzles. So I'm like, thank God for previous me. So I have a puzzle to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was thinking about that I was like, it's the time of year for a fucking puzzle.
It's a nice time of year because like I feel like we're finally in that stage too of healing with the shop. Like what the shop has done for us and like our personal journeys where like you said, if you want to watch a movie, you'll watch a movie. Yeah. Like it feels very freeing to be in this like stage of our lives to not have to work for someone that expects us to constantly put stuff out and like make them money. Instead, it's like, if you need to take a mental health day, take it.
Well,
do it. If you want to work, then work.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I think it's one of those that like both of us like to work. So even if we're not tattooing, oftentimes we're still doing stuff that like is working. Like this morning, I went and removed the rest of the Halloween decorations and I like worked on the shop and did like aftercare. So that way I was like, okay, this way we're all set up. But it doesn't feel, because there isn't that pressure of someone else being like, yo, you need to do all this. Yeah. Then I'm like, okay, you tattooed 15 people and like, yeah, you're dead from that. But you're also like, not dead like you used to be, where it was soul crushing because it was that case. Like I said something to Caboose yesterday because you were there all day, and then I got the like report at the end of the day, and I was like, "Oh no, Callie undercharged the shit out of somebody." And and Caboose was like, "Uh-oh, she need to have a conversation," and I was like, "No, I don't." I was like, "I don't care about the shop." Yeah, I was like, "I care about the fact that this poor thing just spent all day at work."
Oh, don't worry about it.
For that, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. But I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad that she spent all day at work and like, I didn't think you made a bunch of money. Yeah. So I was like, that super sucks. And he was like, oh, that's nice though. And like, he even brought that up where it was like, oh, well, that's nice because like, it's her choice. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, So, like, it doesn't fucking matter because it's not the, like, somebody being like, yo, you need to earn X amount. And I'm like, I don't want to charge this person that much.
I think also, yeah, A, it's that. B, it's nice to have, like, a business environment where both of us are supported in whatever decision we make. And then C, it's nice to have a environment where we're both also, like, deeply appreciated. I hope you feel appreciated for what we do for the shop because... it was way different working at different studios during this time of year because not only would I be burnt the fuck out, but I would also completely feel undermined and just disrespected, honestly, most of the time. So, like, it's just nice that we're in this stage of, like, we don't have anything to prove to anyone now.
Well, and for me, this time of year was really hard because we would be getting in trouble for having more bookings than other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we would. Oh, I forgot how ostracizing that was.
Yeah. So as we're busy, we're getting, like people angry that we're busy. But then for me, a lot of it was like them putting the pressure on me to be like, you need to earn money for the shop.
Yeah.
Whereas now, because we have freedom and at the end of the day, we both like working, the money just comes. And like, we don't charge as much as we used to fucking charge. And we're still totally fine because we're just doing it at our own pace. And that happens to be a really good fucking pace for a small business.
Absolutely. So basically go us.
Yeah. Would you want to make a fall wreath or... I kind of just want to ask this, like, what's your opinion on fall wreaths? Fuck it. I'm doing my own thing now. I'm bored of this now.
As you should.
The edible has kicked in.
My opinion on fall wreaths? They're gorgeous. I don't think I would want to make them.
Why? You don't want to make one for your, like, when you buy a house one day?
What do you even do with, like, how do you
You've never made a wreath?
No. Is this an English thing? Or is this just a non-Filipino thing? I've never made a wreath before. How do you make a wreath? I'm assuming with twigs outside, right? Like leaves and stuff.
I mean, you typically go to the craft store and buy this stuff. So it's made out of plastic and it lasts more than one season.
Yeah, right?
We can go make an old-timey wreath. We gotta go fucking find some. If we're making a wreath, it has to be fresh wood though, so that way it can bend.
That sounds terrible.
That's ridiculous that I know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've made fresh wreaths as a child as well.
I don't want to touch sticks.
Okay, well, then you don't do a fresh wreath. Then you buy the supplies at Michael's and you get to make your own. I can't believe the wreaths that we have on this door are the very first wreaths I've not made myself.
Really?
Yeah, I've made all of them. Yes. They're expensive. Just bought them.
They are very expensive. So expensive for what? I mean, a handmade one. Then I could justify buying the cost of like a $40 wreath. But like if they're all generic and everyone's getting the same one at Target, I don't want it.
Well, that's $40. What. Our wreaths are like that,
bro. Crazy.
I forgot where I brought my wreath back from.
I can't believe it.
I think it's IKEA.
Can you guys drop in the comments if you've made a wreath before? I'm wondering if this is like an actual thing.
I'm thinking it's probably just a my family thing because I grew up doing all those crafts.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so I would say yes.
I can't believe that. Okay, so then do you want to make a wreath? I'm not saying right now, but in the future, it's a wreath making class.
Only if it's chaotic.
You do them for every season. So it can be you can do a Halloween one. It can be chaotic. You can do an Easter one and put some dead bunnies.
I want it to be chaotic like that, like a fall one, but there's like hidden dicks everywhere.
Let's go.
Like, fall colored dicks.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, cool.
That's amazing.
I'm down if it's...
We can make that on the laser tomorrow. We don't have to go to work.
The benefit of... Okay. What if we just call out and make a wreath? No, both of us have work.
So you know my opinion. I'm a wreath maker.
What was the original question?
Whether it was make a wreath or attend a fall festival. But I know you'd rather go to a festival.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, no. So I was just going to get your opinion on fall festivals.
I appreciate it. I haven't been to a fall festival, but I'd love to go to one. Dude,
oh my God.
The fuck?
Dude,
Is that a normal thing? Where have you been that has a fall festival? You guys. Not Reno.
Exactly. I know you hear me complain about this town so much. And I'm going to do it just a tiny bit more.
As you should, honestly.
I have no doubt that someone out there is doing a fall festival. some event is happening that's fall related. And if you tell me Ferrari Farms, I swear to God. But besides that, if there's like a place that's doing all these things, that is not Apple Hill. That is not a 2 to 3 hour drive away.
Yeah.
That is why I am not made for Reno.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in small communities where you could go. You just went to the neighboring towns, or like we had in DeLand. So like when we first moved to America, there were all sorts of like weekend festivals. Like, you know, you had farmers markets, but you also had like just actual fall festivals. Like I told you how Kubi's and I went to like the shrimp cook-off. Like, so, and then like
shrimp
the okra.
cook-off.
Yeah.
Bitch.
The okra strut. So everything's made, and like Chapin had a chili cook-off.
Dude.
And they did parades, which is why out here when I was like, you don't have a fucking float, like it was mind-blowing. So don't get me wrong. I am really happy that now you are exposed to these ideas, and there is a sick part of me that's really happy that I get to be there when you first watch them.
It'll be so fun. That means my first fall festival will be in New Zealand.
Yes.
So cool.
Because then like I'm really happy, but I'm also so sad for all of these, like, I sound like an old person now. For all of those like traditions and things that I grew up with, that like my parents grew up with, my grandparents grew up with, we're not a thing out here.
No, it just sounds cool to have stuff to do. I would love to do that.
Yeah,
most festivals here in Reno you don't realize are happening until it's done already. Like there was the Italian festival that recently happened. Where the fuck was the PR for that? Yeah, I feel like
genuinely Reno has really, really bad like publicity.
Yeah,
because
100%.
I never know anything's going on. And then like I try to find stuff, but like it's just not advertised.
No, it's buried. Like it's no.
Okay. So bonfire
Mm-hmm.
or a movie night.
That's also hard because, I mean, a bonfire is great, but I couldn't do a bonfire 2 nights in a row. I could definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. Didn't we do a bonfire actually when we went to Yellowstone? Does that technically count as a bonfire, or is that just a fire pit?
I'm going to say it's the same thing for you over here.
Right?
Yeah, because a bonfire is just a fucking non-enclosed fire pit. Okay. And besides the fact that you just get to throw random shit in there just to see what color it burns, you're
what the fuck?
Yeah.
So you're just burning plastic?
Sometimes it's cardboard.
That's crazy. Okay.
Sometimes it's just stuff you find.
I'm going to say
go find a feather. They burn really interestingly.
I'm going to say movie night because with bonfires, like, don't get me wrong, they're fun, but I can't stand the smell afterwards. Like, my clothes are just really...
That's why I like the one we have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never noticed any kind of smell from that, which is great. So I would say movie night. How about you?
I have a feeling when you were saying that, because I realized as you answered that my brain said I would do a bonfire every night. If,
really?
If people were like down to hang out every night outside and the weather wasn't as insane and the bugs weren't so bad, I would absolutely do that like almost every night as like a nightly routine. Like when I have a hot tub.
That's going to be a nightly routine for you.
Damn close. Most nights I will be in a hot tub.
That's
like that's just it.
I just need a 5-minute soak.
Yeah.
And then I'll get out.
Yep.
A hot tub while you were sick would be so lit. Like just having that accessible.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I'm like, no, I want a hot tub. Also, because then I don't need a steam room, because all you gotta do is put a towel over your head, hold it here, and then that is your own steam room.
And then you're fine.
You're good to go. So bonfire is apparently I love it way more than I realized. Although I do love our movie nights. Okay, so then that's a stupid okay, actually I'm just gonna ask you, because apparently you haven't done most of this fucking classical shit.
No.
A hay maze. Have you done a hay maze?
Done a corn maze.
Done a corn maze?
Yes, not a hay maze.
Okay.
So I'm just
How was the corn maze?
Fine. It was dark. People were shouting obscenities at each other. And other than that, it was okay.
Okay. Have you done a hay ride?
No.
That one's
Are you like in the back of a hay thing?
Yeah. Well, not like the big machinery that does the hay.
Okay.
But like they take like bales of hay, put them on the back of a trailer,
and you just ride
around. Yeah.
That sounds itchy.
It is incredible. That's what I was going to say. It is incredibly itchy. So you are correct there.
So I'm okay. I don't think I need to do that.
Oh my God, this is so weird. Have a fall photo shoot or collect acorns.
What the fuck? I would collect acorns, actually. Before I judge too hard, I would collect acorns.
I know you would, because what is the insane amount of shells that we have?
Too many shells.
And why do we have all those shells?
Because I couldn't stop harvesting shells when we went to Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida, y'all.
Yeah, and like there were so many seashells.
The shells from Jacksonville, Florida.
Bro, but they're different kind of shells. They're so much bigger than the shells that you get in the beaches here in California. We don't get shells like that. We get little bitch.
Beaches aren't good out here.
We get bitch shells. Those shells are honking. They're huge and like they're like actual good shells. So yeah, I would do the same with acorns. I would do the same. Photo shoot or acorns?
Photo shoot.
Photo shoot's fun.
Yeah, I can grab acorns anytime I fucking want. Oh my God, have you ever jumped in a pile of leaves?
Yeah, as a child.
Not as an adult?
I wouldn't want to do it now.
Why?
There's bugs.
There's not. You just raked them.
I don't want to risk it. Do you want to risk it?
What if I jump in first?
No, because like who knows what other stuff just moved because you jumped in there first.
No, you just raked the leaves up.
Uh-huh.
So you got to see that there were no bugs there.
I mean, I guess. Is it even wonderful?
Yeah.
Is it even magical?
It is.
Okay. If it really is as good as you're hyping it up to be, then I suppose I would.
Or, okay, how about this? I will make us a pile of leaves out of pink paper, and then we can do a photo shoot of us jumping in a pile of leaves.
That's cute. And
they're not real leaves.
Yeah.
So
we're fine.
Yeah, no bugs.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Okay. I gotta start making leaves. Okay, last one. Read a book or go stargazing?
Read a book.
I did not think that.
I don't know why that was so judgy. I don't know why I said it like that. That was so fucking judgy.
I know, you punched me in the gut with that answer.
Obviously.
Oh my God.
No, I would definitely. I just stargazing. There's not a lot of good places out here to stargaze. So
Pyramid Lake?
I've never been to Pyramid Lake. You've done more Reno shit than I have, actually.
Okay.
Never been to Pyramid Lake.
Here's my thing with that. I'm not upset about that at all because, like, when you live in different places, it's like when we went back to Lexington, you heard me complain so much about how I was so angry at Caboose that we never went to that museum.
Yes.
And so when we went back, I was like, I have to go to this fucking museum.
Bro.
Because when you first...
Bro.
What?
That museum was amazing.
Yeah. I know, right?
That was the one where we got a private tour, right?
Yes.
Of the carriages. That was lit. That was so good.
For like $11.
Yeah. Seriously, so cheap.
Yeah. And we couldn't pay with card, and then we didn't have enough cash.
It was,
so we had to go get cash.
And you only had like $100 bill, right? And you're like, can you break this?
Yes. They're like, no, we can't break $100 bill.
And you're like, fuck.
We're a little county museum.
Yeah.
And then I came back and I told everyone on the podcast. That's an old ass episode.
Oh, got it. But the museum was so good.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So the museum.
Yeah. So that's the thing is that, like, when you first move somewhere, you are a tourist in that place.
Yeah.
So, and then when you know you're going to move again, it means that because I've moved so much, I'm like, no, I need to get all those last minute things I didn't get to do while we lived here in.
Yeah.
So it's like the train museum down in Carson, where it's like, okay, I need to know like these things. But when you live somewhere, like there's a lot of places in like Middleton, Manchester, I never went. So like a tourist will for sure have gone and seen them because you're also not going to go to tourist locations when you live somewhere. For sure.
I also think, yeah, because like when you live somewhere, you're kind of like stuck in the same complacency of the everyday life.
Yeah.
So it's like hard.
Well, it's like your parents' house. Like that was just a house to you.
Yeah.
But the first time I ever saw that house, I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. Yeah. And like I went in and saw that weird toilet.
Yep. Everyone talks like, about the toilet.
What the fuck? But you live with the toilet, so you're just like, it's just a part of your existence. You don't even notice it. Yeah. Or if you do notice it, it's like when you notice like, you know, weird shit downtown that you're just like, whatever, that's just Reno. Yeah. But if you're just visiting, then you're like, what the fuck?
Totally. Yeah. So would you say the stargazing at Pyramid Lake is great? I mean, don't you just like, but here's the thing with stargazing, you're looking at it and then it's kind of like the bison at Yellowstone where the first 20 were so cool. Yeah. And then everyone after that, you're like, all right, well, I mean, there's another one.
So I think that's why for me, like I have a lot of good memories stargazing, partly I guess I'll start like the most current. Caboose is a nerd, so he likes to tell me all about the stars.
Oh, that makes it a lot better, I feel like. So if you're with someone who knows.
I get to like guess because I know some stars.
Yeah.
But just by like proxy, where I'm like, oh, is that this constellation? And then we'll argue. And so that's like dopamine for me because he's like, it is absolutely not that. And I'm like, are you sure?
Because it looks like it.
Because it looks like the Big Dipper to me. And then he's over there like, it's fucking whatever. The only other one that I can think of right now is Orion, but Orion's like the only one I can tell in the sky.
I can't find any of them.
And then I guess going back would be like, we did it like as kids.
Yeah.
Because when my dad worked night shift, we would just like go and crawl on top of the roof and like look at the stars.
It's crazy that you guys would just go on the roof.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a different generation. There's a lot of people that are like, yep, absolutely. That's totally normal.
Hell no.
Most parents weren't cool with you doing it or doing it while they were home. So that's why it happened. Like my dad worked night shift. So we would just go do that. I'm honestly surprised we didn't get in like more trouble or do worse shit.
For sure.
But that's also why I can look at teenagers and be like, are you fucking
I think that's
serious
kind of
that like they are always thinking about bad stuff? Like we spent a lot of time by ourselves and like didn't get into a bunch of trouble.
Yeah. Also a lot at the time you don't know it's bad when you're a teenager too. You know what I mean? Where I think about it too and I'm like, gosh, I put myself in a lot of danger during that moment and I had no idea. You know? No clue. So
yeah. And we mostly just, like that. Like, yeah, I guess someone could have fallen off, but also it was Florida and a 1-story house. So like,
oh, you guys would have been fine.
Yeah. You're going to fall into a bush.
Yeah. You would have been okay.
But yeah, so then we did that. And then also like as a kid, that's why I can always find Orion because that was my dad's favorite constellation. So like he pointed that out to me like little when we would go camping as kids. So like I know like that stuff. So like for me, stargazing has all of that.
Yeah.
But then also if you don't go with Caboose, you go with a bunch of friends because that means that like once you get to that point where you're like, I'm fucking bored of this. It's kind of like the bonfire situation. That the moment you're like, yeah, I mean, fire is cool and all. This got boring though. Yeah. Then someone can fucking start telling a story or joking. And so then it's a conversation.
Yeah. Oh, so it's more about the conversation than it is looking at the stars. Well, I could get into that.
And then like every once in a while, like there'll be like, a fucking comet or something cool will happen. Like you'll see a satellite and then everyone's like, oh yeah, that one thing. And then you just go back to talking. So it's that like talking and not having to look at someone as well.
Yeah. But so people shared experience though of like.
Yeah. You have the shared experience and then you also have that like cover of night. So people will share more things. And then because no one's looking at them, everyone just gets to look up. That you have this like sense of like connectivity through the vulnerability of the whole thing.
That's very cool. I see. I could get behind that. I was, my brain was just like, well, so what? We're just going to look at stars in silence.
Okay. I mean, that would suck.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
No.
I bring a headphone now when I go out with Caboose. Like when we last went out, I just had a headphone. So that way when he gets really quiet and I get bored, because he's having a great time just being quiet. And I am there
he's
like.
He's just chilling. He's like, wow, this is so relaxing.
Yeah. And I'm just over here like, this silence is deafening.
Yeah.
And I can hear like any sort of like critters moving. So then I have to be like, no, you need to entertain the toddler in your brain before you pick a fight. So then I have just podcasts already downloaded.
You got really good sense of hearing the critters moving.
Yeah. It's fucking terrifying.
That sounds awful.
It is awful.
Remember when you said that there were scorpions and I was like, there's no way there's scorpions. I've never seen scorpions before. And we saw scorpions like a couple weeks ago, a few months ago. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
I've been walking around those roads with open-toed shoes this entire time.
And you've been safe. See, this is one of those instances where like the less you know.
Kind of the better. Yeah.
The better you feel. Sucks to be me.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on a very random fall episode. We talked about practical magic. We talked about The Happening for a little bit, and we talked about random fall questions.
Yes.
If you want to share any of your answers, please let me know if you've made a wreath before. I would love to know.
Ooh, or send pictures. I love looking at wreaths.
Yes, please.
I know it's very white lady of me, but I do.
Whatever, that's cool. Again, I mean, one of these days I'm going to make the most chaotic wreath you'll ever see. That'll probably happen when we're in New Zealand, though. So
I'm really excited for this. Okay, right. One last question. Do you have like, I'm not going to say a win. I don't have wins right now still. Do you have a slightly up thing?
A slightly up thing.
That's how you ask people, by the way. That's a real question.
Do you have a slightly up thing?
Yeah. Something that's just a little bit okay.
Something that's a little bit okay. Finch, the app Finch is very cute. You can name your bird, and that gave me a lot of dopamine. And it's a little bit of escapism, but tricking your brain into thinking that self-care is escapism, so you get a little bit more dopamine in it.
That's awesome.
Yes, because I'm really solidifying with the fact that self-care is not self-indulgence. It's doing the boring shit like laundry and working out, even if you don't feel like it. So that's my one little up thing.
That's a great up thing.
What's your little up thing?
I'm about to dye Cabooses' hair.
That is great.
Because he's so afraid that people think that he's a MAGA person.
Can you believe how wonderful he is? That he's like, I'm so afraid that you guys think I'm one of you that I have to make it blatantly obvious that I'm not. So I'm going to dye my hair.
Well, our neighbor was saying that. That like, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm lucky enough looking the way I look that like no one's mistaking me for a MAGA individual.
Yeah.
But because I was like, but both her and Caboose just have like, because they look like them, have people just saying the most like out of pocket shit to them. Because she was complaining about that. And I was like,
our neighbor was complaining about
how that happens to her.
Yeah.
That people say the most out of pocket shit. And she's like, oh, how do I express
that I am not one of
I don't agree with that part of that. And I was like, oh my gosh, Caboose has that same problem. I was like, I am happy I don't have that at least.
Dude, yeah, at least you don't. There is that going for you.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm about to dye his hair.
That's a good one.
And I think it's cute because then we look kind of the same. And I think that's so funny. It's genuinely like hilarious to me. And then I'm like, oh, now we're those like dogs that look like each other.
They say that like, don't they say that couples, the longer they're together, they start looking like each other too? It's really sweet. That's adorable.
Yeah, so... Well, if I can get some of your looks, that would be nice. I know we're not a couple, but like...
Yeah, I mean, we're business partners.
Younger fucking skin over here.
We basically are. Yeah. My Asian genes, I'll just transfer them to you.
Yes, thank you.
It's okay. Just remember, one of these days, you're gonna turn around and I'll be Yoda.
I know, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. You'll be the cutest little Yoda.
Dude.
I'll paint you green for Halloween.
Oh, for sure. You know I'm going to do some fucking funny shit. I'm really excited for my 30s. I'm very excited for my 30s.
I'm so excited for you because like your 30s are so much better than your 20s.
Yeah, dude, I bet. I'm like really looking
and
forward
you're like
to it.
already so ahead of the curve because you do so much to work on like your mental and like physical health.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you're just already ahead. So a ton of shit that you're supposed to like learn in your 30s, you already know, which means you're like, I already put in the work. Now I can cruise for a minute.
I think the magic ingredient that I am missing right now is just experience. And the only way to do that is with time. Yep. So I'm like, that's why I'm excited for it. Because I do feel like stable, but like at least I'll have more experience points and like more like knowledge, you know? So
it does. Right. It genuinely gets easier.
I'm so excited.
And just like more fun. Because, as you gain more experience, you also get more of the don't give a fucks.
Yes.
But you have to, it's that, like, you have to gain that experience.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just arrogance and it's not actually, you just don't care.
Well, or it's just like, there's a lot of me too that like acts on things and like knows that this is the right thing, but I still have that fear and of like wanting to be liked and like that fear of rejection. So it's a constant battle when I do things. Like, for example, post-political things. It's this battle of like, oh, I'm scared I might get rejected, but then that mental labor of having to comfort yourself and be like, you're gonna be okay. Like, you want to be rejected by these people. They're not good people.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited. All right. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for listening.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys so much. Sorry this episode's coming out a little bit late, but you know how it goes. It's been a crazy fucking week. Crazy couple of years, really.
Yeah.
So in that note, we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.